Nothing says exciting football game quite like the roar of the crowd. So what to do when there's barely any crowd on hand? Here's David Pogue.
In all of football, there's nothing quite as exciting as the roar of the crowd. And nothing more unsettling than the silence of an empty stadium. That's the situation the NFL had to contend with when social distancing limited the number of fans who could attend in person.
We were really destined to go to the Super Bowl, so...
And I didn't have the chance to tell you then, but congratulations!
Oh, you're quite welcome.
Giants! Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, NFL Hall of Famer Harry Carson played for the New York Giants for 13 years. We met at MetLife Stadium, home to the Giants and the Jets. Is the sound of the fans something that propels you, or is it something that annoys you?
Well, if we're winning and doing well, it propels me. If they are calling me names, and if we're losing, then that annoys me. It's amazing how, you know, the noise really does come into play at some point.
But on TV, including during today's Super Bowl broadcast, you hear what sounds like a full capacity crowd. But what you're actually hearing is sounds recorded by the NFL in pre-pandemic times.
The system is really basic. It consists of a laptop and an audio interface and a small controller, and we built it into a road case.
Vince Caputo is the head sound mixer at NFL Films. He led the development of this portable sound machine. Most of the time, it just produces a dull roar.
Level 1 is what we call a stadium full of people doing nothing.
The operator can then trigger crowd reactions when something good happens or bad happens. Long before the pandemic began, Caputo's team had been recording crowd sounds just to build a sound effects library. In fact, the team created separate recordings in each stadium.
That's important for us because if we're working on a game at Arrowhead Stadium and we need a crowd cheer, we're going to use a crowd cheer from Arrowhead Stadium.
You know, humans have been singing for a long, long time on the evolutionary scale, and we vocalize together, and sports are one way that is really realized in today's society.
Lori Holt is a professor of psychology at Carnegie Mellon University. Would it be that disappointing to watch the exact same football game without the crowd?
I think so. Having that kind of sound kind of boosts the kind of camaraderie and tribalism of sports, of feeling like you're surrounded by many other humans, which is probably something we're in need of this year.
Each team has its own local sound machine operator. At first, it wasn't all smooth sailing.
In week 1, the most glaring thing was operators waiting for the actual result of the play to happen and firing the reaction. So when that pass is getting close to the receiver, you want to start cheering then, not waiting to make sure that he catches it.
Neuroscientifically, Lori Holt says that makes sense.
Where we humans are tuned to anticipate, and then the excitement comes from having anticipated correctly. And, you know, the deep sorrow of a sports fan for having anticipated incorrectly for their own team. That's part of the juice that makes sports exciting.
Vince Caputo will be one of the 2 operators during today's Super Bowl. He showed me how he'll do it, and he let me do the play-by-play. Tie score. The Buccaneers have the ball. It's 4th and goal. Here's the snap. Brady falls back. And he's sacked! Uh-oh. Looks like there's a flag on the play. I feel like the god of football right now. For the Super Bowl, Caputo has added new sounds for kickoffs, punts, and extra points. But he's hoping that today's game will be the last you'll ever hear of the NFL's crowd machine.
Well, in a perfect world, none of this would be present in next season's game. That's what we're all hoping for. Full stadiums of people. As fun as this was, there's nothing that replaces real NFL fans. And if we get to put this thing on the shelf and never see it again, that's actually a win.